Why? Because so slow water, it can chances to enter into the ground surface, so that it became a groundwater. So the groundwater level will be increasing gradually. So the rapid waters are heavy rains, which are going to be runoff waters more and more. So here, in generally, the different parameters which are going to be influence the rivers of all these geological agents, running water may have the a greatest impact on the people. As we know, the geological agents, mostly the running water, may have the a greatest impact on the people, and we depend upon a rivers for energy, travel, irrigation, and their fertile floodplains have fostered human progress since the dawn of civilization. So as we know, we the human beings depends upon rivers for energy and traveling to one place to another one, and irrigation purpose. Whenever we need the water from the reservoir, from the source of low-lying areas, we can use that water as for irrigation. And their fertile and floodplains have fostered human progress since the dawn of civilization. So it is the prominent agent of landscape alteration and has shaped much of our physical environment. So most of the rivers, as we know, it is going to be influence, or it is going to be a major factor to shape up the landscapes. It is going to be landscape alteration and has shaped much of our physical environment. Whatever the physical environment, that physical environment which are going to be quite seen, on the various parts of things which are going to very seen very clearly. The landscape should be changed by the various factors, mostly which is involved by the river water. So the work of running water, as we know, the work of running water begins with the raindrop. Yes, the work of running water begins with the raindrop on smooth slopes. Generally, on the smooth slopes, the running water or runoff takes the form of a thick film of water which moves downhill more or less uniformity as sheet flow. As we know, so what are the rain? It has been beginning the drops of drop by drop, and all these drops together are accumulated to flow as a sheet flow on uneven slopes. The runoff sweeps on just a minute.
సార్ మెటీరియల్స్ ఏమైనా ఉంటే సజెషన్ చేయండి సార్.
Yes, please.
మెటీరియల్స్ ఏమైనా సజెస్ట్ చేయండి సార్. వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ లో పెడితే మేము దాన్ని కూడా ప్రిపేర్ అవుతాం కదా.
మెటీరియల్
సార్ టెస్ట్ పేపర్స్ అంటే ఏమైనా మీతో పీడిఎఫ్ ఫైల్స్ ఉంటే.
ఓకే, డూ యు వాంట్ మెటీరియల్?
ఎస్ సార్, టెస్ట్ పేపర్స్ అన్న మెటీరియల్స్ అన్న సార్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ కి చేయడానికి.
So for the purpose of examination, I will give the material after completion of the chapters.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So after completion of the chapters, I will give the material, PDF material. I will share in the group so that you can prepare for the exam in the easiest way.
Okay. Thank you.
Material is not a problem at all. I will provide.
Okay, sir.
So if it is not complete before I given the material, nobody doesn't allow come to the online classes. That is happening.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
If I provide before the completion of the classes, nobody doesn't interest to come into the online classes. So what is the purpose of online classes? So that's what
correct.
I'm not sharing before that. After completion of the topics, I definitely share topic wise, and that will be very much useful to you. The easiest way you can prepare for the examinations.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah, in this manner, whatever the topics which are covered, or whatever the major topics that will be provided in the material purpose, definitely that is not a problem at all to all of you. Okay. Yeah. So you can also see in your text. You can also see your textbooks. So here, generally, the river patterns, as we know, the river patterns, which are going to how it is going to be helpful in or whatever the environmental changes which has been takes place by the rivers. So as we know, the rivers are changing or shaping the physical environment by their river course. Yes, the work of the running water begins with the draw, and these water which is going to be flow as a sheet flow on universe slopes, thus runoff sweeps out and flow. It has been into the initial depressions. So a stream can be defined as a body of water carrying rock particles and form a river system. So a stream, generally as we know, a gullies or small streams. Yes, a stream can be defined as a body of water which has been carrying a rock particles and following down a slope along a channel which may be a might river like the a Ganges or the which has been a Godavari. It's a big river as we know the Godavari river, Tungabhadra, Nagavali, Vamshadhara, all these things. So the small gullies or streams which has been carrying a certain particles along through the course of their traveling where it has been from carrying the food particles and materials which is going to be taken place into the various places in all the aspect which are going to be accumulated. As we know, these river water, not only the water, it has been there are so much of particles they are dissolved in conditions, and they are going to be some of the particles suspended particles or suspended matters which are going to be share which are going to be share where it has been going to be which has been placed right better in various places come to here in the various places in which so in all what way what are the materials in a suspended matters or turbidity nature the river water can be loading all these materials and they are going to be change their physical environmental changes. So these landscapes can be changed in various ways. We can see very clearly. So the geological work of rivers mostly we can see the geological activities of a river can be divided into three processes. One is erosion, transportation, and deposition. So generally, the rainwater, mostly it can be the work, the river work can be divided into three processes. One is erosion, transportation, and deposition. So first, let us see the erosion. So as we know, the erosion work is accomplished by a number of sub processes which act in cooperation with each other. Erosion of stream. The erosion of stream involves the hydraulic action, abrasion, solution, and removal of material. As we know, the erosion means the metal has to, simply the metal has to wash out whatever the loose sediments or whatever the loose soil or topsoil should go to should wash it away or should wash it away from one place to towards downward movements. So here majorly what are the activities which are going to be helpful in all the aspect. The most of the river patterns which are going to be seen in where it has see which has been the hydraulic activities, mostly the hydraulic action and abrasion. Abrasion is a rubbing of the particles to each other. So hydraulic activity, hydraulic action and abrasion and the solution, they are going to become as solutions. They are going to become as solutions. So it means some of the materials are chemically react with the rainwater or water and chemically they are dissolved in condition. They become as solutions. So here, these are all together works on the river and they are going to removal of a material and these activities go on simultaneously in all streams which are going to be seen very clearly. So it means whatever the fractures and whatever the things we are going to be seen and these variations we can say very clearly. So in order to maintain these river patterns, so erosion is also one of the important aspect in the river change of landscapes. So here, whatever the river actions which has been involved with the rainwater should be involved with all the particles in their meanwhile of their course of traveling materials, which is going to be seen very clearly. And transportation is a process of material. It is a process which has involves to to carry the material from one place to another place by the several geological agents or atmospheric agents, as we see. So these atmospheric agents which are going to be seen, where are the patterns which are going to be seen in various activities, which are going to be quite observed. Particles are very clearly seen by the action. So here it means whatever the river actions which are going to be seen, which are going to be observed very clearly, the transportation is also one of the important aspect in the river work. So the geological work of river is a part of transportation. Transportation is a process to transport the material, to carry the material from one place to another place, mostly towards a downward movement or low-lying areas, from elevated regions to towards slope areas or lower areas or lower levels of areas. The material has been migrated or carried out from the place. So this is a transportation. Transportation, it has been lift out the material. The material has been lift out and they are going to be take it into the low-lying levels of the water, where the feasibility zones are there, which is going to be taken place. And third one, deposition. So as we know, the river water or streams, water it may be, so they are always moving towards a downward regions or downward movements. Mostly the lower levels of the Earth's surface, they are going to carry all these materials. Some are dissolved and some are undissolved conditions, which has carried towards downward regions. And also these materials finally they are going to be settled. They are going to be pouring in the low-lying levels of water, low-lying areas. So mostly we can call it as basins. The low-lying areas are the basins, like lakes, ponds, lakes, ponds, oceans, seas. So these are the low-lying areas or basins. So as we know, the lake, the collection of water from the surroundings, even ponds, yes, oceans, seas. So these are regularly whatever the material, whatever the sources which are going to be taken into the various places, and these material are going to be these material are going to finally they are deposited. They are deposited as a sediments in the low-lying basins or like, catchment areas. Mostly they are like lakes, ponds, seas, and oceans, etc. So these are the low-lying areas. So they are going to be finally they are pouring on these basins as in the form of sediments. We can call it as this is deposition. So the continuous deposition of the materials through the rivers, through the streams into the low-lying areas. So the depositional thickness will be gradually increase. The deposition thickness is gradually it is going to be increased. So here the things which are going to be considered, whatever the regions or whatever the sediments mostly. So some are dissolved condition, some are undissolved condition. Fine, are in the form of solutions. As we know, calcareous solution, ferruginous solution, siliceous solution. It means in the form of mostly where these solutions depends upon the source of material. Yes, on the low-lying areas or what are the hilly regions, what are the source of rocks. So based on that, the solutions can be resulted. If it is silica rich, so siliceous solutions. If it is iron rich, ferruginous materials or iron solutions, iron bearing solutions, which are going to be takes. So whatever the sources of material which are there on the course of river or meanwhile of the traveling, so which are going to be taking into the low-lying areas, and finally they are going to be deposited in the basins. So this is called deposition. So these deposits in the form of sediments. Sediments is fine particles, either maybe dissolved condition or maybe in the suspended matters, which are going to be deposited in the low-lying areas, which are called sediments. These sediments, in the span of million years, they are going to be converted into sedimentary rocks. So that is why sedimentary rocks we can find out only in the basins. So these particles, after span of times, so again they are deposited overlying some of the other sediments in the continuous reaction. So the sediments again, they are going to be overlaying on the previous sediments. So it is going to be compact. The particles are going to be compact, and it means which are very clearly seen that whatever the particles or whatever the things which are going to be seen, the particles are going to be compacted by the cementing materials. I think something will happen. And particles are going to be saved.
Preeti. Hello.
Yeah, maybe some technical problem. Unable to see the what's unable to use the Zoom. Hello. Yes, are you audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah, maybe some technical problem. Unable to hear and see
Okay, sir.
the
Okay, sir.
Zoom.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the Zoom. Okay. I'm unable to see the some technical problem is going on. Okay, I'm going to stop the class. We'll see the next class. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, something is happening.
సార్ ఇది మన నారాయణపేట వాళ్ళు ఎవరన్నా ఉన్నారా తెలుసుకుంటారా సార్ గ్రూప్ లో?
I don't know actually who are there.
అడిగాను సార్ ఒకసారి గ్రూప్ లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు, అంటే ఇద్దరే ఉన్నారు అని అన్నారు నారాయణపేట వాళ్ళు, అట్లని అడుగుదాం.
Okay, okay. From the admission schedule, I will try to let me know. Okay. From the admission, based on admission schedule, I will try to let me know.
Okay, sir.
I will form. Yeah,
Thank
something
you.
is not unable to see. Thank you. We'll see in the next class.
Okay. హలో హలో వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తారమ్మా?
హలో.
వాట్సాప్ గ్రూప్
నేను లింక్ పంపిస్తానులే.
దీంట్లో ఎక్కడ పంపిస్తారు?
మీ నంబర్ చెప్పరు నాకు.
83-674-30026.
ఓకే, మీకు ఇప్పుడు వస్తుందిలే.
ఓకే.
ప్రీతి,
ఫిజిక్స్ క్లాస్ అటెండ్ అవుదామా?
సరే సరే
బాయ్.
సార్ వెళ్ళిపోయారా?
పోయిండు. లేదు సార్. సరే.
హలో